Hey guys, Alera Art here, and I am talking about today's audio about how to, not so much how to, but in this day and age of needing to know um, how to, like, say, do you need big businesses, and of course, to use your business for uh, like jump point for like publishing, whether it be musicians or publishing a book or getting into bigger environments where your work can be seen, which is always awesome. But in this day and age, and starting jump point would be um, not needing to rely on certain in the sense of a publisher, where how much of the work can you do, where you can create content, having a platform where you are, say, crowdfunded. And the thing that I see and lately has been popping up a lot is we have like these awesome stories of these different ways of making a living, making your making print on demand, volumes, big and small, or one item made and then it's delivered to the customer, the content. So today, speaking on that, I just want to it's more like exciting. It's nothing bad or anything like that, but I think the part is we need to be more aware that we have more control and more options, opposed to having that fantasy that to be signed to a label or publisher, which is cool and it's exciting. And I think the thing that I want you to walk away with, and what I'm trying to say with my rambles, is you need to be able to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, just to see that you're more valued, and to be able to have more out there. I don't know. This is just a, to see yourself create, that you don't need, like if you don't make it into the publishing scene with that publisher that you dream about, do you just close up shop and end what your goals are, or will you take those losses and go with it and make something? So as an example, in this day and age of creating like a book, like a market, we have like print on demand. We have just throwing out examples like Lulu and all these services. The one that I look at a lot is the Amazon printing. I actually got my Kickstarter book onto Amazon printing, and it's been really cool. As a workshop instructor, I teach at two different schools, kids making comics, and one of the projects is like looking at activities. So to incorporate my Alley Cat coloring book into this format, now my schools are able to print on demand books, and they get the books fairly fast. So it's one of those things it's very cool to see, and it's exciting that for me to wait to someone to open the door for me. I just went ahead and did it. During the process of putting the book together, me not being very well educated in learning how to format, as an illustrator, you think that you should know how to use all these tools, but not everything works as planned, and it's trial and error. And actually I find that stuff more exciting because I get to learn more about the software that I use. So for anybody who feels that way, everybody feels that, but when you see it printed, it is definitely a real awesome feeling. And I just feel like we are in this day and age where the product can now be manufactured and sent to the customer, and you don't have to order big catalogs or amount that would sit in your living room or your studio, and using it as furniture or firewood. I remember before a lot of this stuff was going on, I remember, early self-publishing comics books that required a print run. One, to only print in black and white, because in color it would be way expensive. And two, the black and white books was still high price, but you just had to print out a certain amount. I could never wrap my brain around hearing like you need to have over 10,000 prints to make a print run, and I had no concept of that. And for me to now print on demand, and minimum amount is probably like 25 for a printer, but even more so, like I'm not trying to plug people, but certain printers you can go ahead and just print one copy and it works out great. So this is a good time right now as a creator own to be making content, and more so that you don't have to rely on big companies. And when I say that, I still think in some advantages they open doors, which they totally do, and their fan base and everything. But when you're starting off, you really can do a lot of the legwork, and you actually learn more about how things are run behind that curtain in the Wizard of Oz, and where you learn about like editing, learn about your audience, and it's 100%. It's you, your work, and the audience. And if you could cut out that person, that middleman, it's even cooler. But yeah, and it's just, I just keep going back to right now, there's no excuse why you shouldn't be able to. You can make stickers, you could put artwork on shirts, and for music you could have it up on platforms. Even podcasting, talking right now, I'm talking to you guys on my podcast, and even the Say podcast is kind of funny to me because I don't see myself as that, but it's to have this platform to share. I know there's people that always ask questions. I do get phone calls, I do get text, I get always asked like, hey, what do you use, what is this and that? If you ask me, I'm happy to answer. Things that I do at shows, what are strategies? I have a better chance at explaining right now than back in the day. You had to wait something printed out or word of mouth, because this is where we are. We are in this, kind of fast technology. Is it the Jetson world that I would wish for? No. Dog walking and a sassy robot that laughs at me. That would be cool. We love you, Rosie. But in compared to what it was, it's just very interesting, and everything's cut directly. Everything gets directly towards you more. Even your payout, you don't have to wait. The time gets a little bit. Track time gets to you faster. I'm talking about like as in for like Venmo and PayPal and Zelle and all that stuff. So I just see things where hey, I would love to draw Spider-Man. I really do. And one day I will. One day I will have an art piece where I could say, hey, that was published and blah, blah, blah. Until then, it's fan art. But in the meantime, I have my own character, and I will keep going with it. And one day I can get that up there so they could say, hey, I could see you draw like that. So with that, with big publishing and whatnot, you can make your own in the meantime, and then print and have that audience, and just keep going with that. Today's ramble, I feel like a ramble, but there's always truth to it. Is never feel discouraged of you can't. if a person says, I'm not really a great artist, as long as you try it and do it and get it printed. Something about seeing it, your product arrive at your front door in a box, it's crazy cool, because you have this product that came out of your brain and was manifested. And now it's, you could take it to bookstores, you could take it to art shows, libraries, and Comic-Cons and whatnot. And it's that print on demand. But definitely this creator owned market is needed. We need that, and we shouldn't have to look at having some publisher to go tell you have to do this. And hey, it's their house, their rules. That's great. But in the meantime, you should make stuff. As a creator, you should want that. You should want to make as much as you can. Reach for the stars. Get your work animated. Get it printed. Get it made of 3D, rather plastic or a teddy bear. The technology, it's there. It's you reach out. There's people around the world that will offer this service, and I'm going with that. I want to see my mascot Alley Cat and all these forms. And I have a vision board. I mentioned one before, but I always have a vision board of seeing. There's a list of things that I want to see my character appear as, and he's on shirts, he's on pens. He's 3D, and the list is still going on. And because of that, that's the creator own, and as well as the having this this offer to work with a smaller publisher or printer to help get that going. And with the help with your customers and fans that believe in your product, you don't need big companies. And again, I'm not dissing, I'm not saying anything bad about that, but for a person who thinks only one way in the door, there's a window, there's all these ways to get in and around. And I saw this one writer crowdfund his book, and he made quadruple what he was. I don't even want to say quadruple, it's even more that he made. And it's awesome because of his fans, and he didn't rely on a publisher. He's probably signed to a publisher, but to be able to do this on his own, more power, because that's cool. And that only pushes his brand more so. And I've worked with people that have done that we or I would work on a project, and they would see us crowdfund it, and they would ask, hey, can you take down your crowdfunding so we could promote? And it's like, well, wouldn't it make more sense that if we kept the crowdfunding going to build the audience to go to your publishing to see as well, and maybe they'll even buy from your other product, and they had blank looks and didn't understand, and afterwards they're like, oh, that does make sense. So it does benefit everybody, but everybody sees things in some sort that it doesn't benefit them in the long run. So if I were to be picked up by a publisher, and this is a thing just to think about, this is there has to be something on that table to offer why I want to take down my product off of a crowdfunding, because in that crowdfunding, I have an audience that probably can't make it to another site. Maybe they don't use the Kickstarter or the Indiegogo or whatever, but they only use a certain method of going to an actual location and to pick up the item and whatnot. That's just an example. I feel like these day and ages of creating content, you should be able to have that option and be encouraged that you should want to work with other platforms. The platforms just open up more doors. And I think that the old way of thinking is this is the only way. And I know a lot of adults that kind of still see stuff like that, and it's not. Things are changing, things are going rapid, and you have to go with it. You have to see that there is not this way. It might work for other people, but for other people that see this, having this open source network, you can, be in this field where you might not stand next to those bigger publishers, but you have enough fan base that believe in you as that, if that makes sense. And even those creators that still aren't publishing like deals, there's some people that do crowdfunding, and I think it's so cool. One of my mentors, I've seen how he makes his artwork, is the guy who creates Spawn, Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane created a Kickstarter for one of his toys, and the toy, it wasn't that he made a toy and used that and people are like, oh, he's already a millionaire, why does he need more money? That's not the point. The point is he's using this market, and how I see it is he's using this market because he knows there's audience there that probably can't get to his other platform. Granted, it was at stores or it was at his online, but if you have a community that's in that world, he, one, he brings his audience over to them, and then two, he builds in even more so, if that makes sense. And that's what I saw with that writer who super quadrupled his Kickstarter and made this amount, and people are like hating on him of like, yo man, you already have money, why are you here? And it's like, dude, it's not about the money. And it's crazy to say it's not about money. I know things are about money in that sense, but he just opened up the door. The list of people that chimed in these comments and saying like, I never heard of him. You heard of the dude now. You know who he is now. And you gotta respect that, because that's what it is. It's a different platform. Connecting this with people believing that there's this one way. This writer now, steps aside and has his own lane even more so. So he still has a publisher, but he's making his own, building more fans and backers for it. I wish I remembered his name. I'm not really good at remembering names, but it was just in the news, and I'm sure you could type it in for the Kickstarter, like most recently with Writer, who just did that. And back to my comic mentor, Todd McFarlane, that did his Spawn. People just like the amount that he made, it made sense, because that's what he's creating, and at the end of the day, he creates content that's well polished and published, and he deserved it. And this even goes for people who are starting off. If your material is well polished and a good story and explains, your people will follow that. Your followers will come and support that. They will believe in what you create. And it's 100%. But if you're having the mindset that has to be like this and I have to follow, you're going to be waiting there. You're going to be sitting there at that bus stop, and you're going to be, looking over and expecting when is that, bus number 9 going to come over and going to give me my shot. And it's that. And we have to educate more people in the sense of like not looking at this type of creator is on this pedestal and platform, and though they're cool, but guess what, they put on their pants just like everyone else. And in those guys that are creator owned, they just like, they might have to do more work, and it's true, but I would rather understand more of that instead of just being one-sided and having people say we'll do this for you, because how long does that last? And you get people telling you what you have to do and this and that. And if you're creator owned and you're making this content, you have a better understanding that. But I just wanted to do an audio of that today, and just like, hey, sky's the limit of trying different platforms, rather it be in form of paper or animated, or something in like the NFT world. I'm gonna do a audio podcast on that one too, and just talking about like just having these different formats of creating content, as you should always be making stuff. And in that, me making my Creatorown, I'm just really happy with it. I'm happy that I get to get up and create my own work, and it benefits me to be that it's who I am. It's like how Gene says from Bob's Burger, it's who I am. And I remember, and this always like echoes in my brain when I work in the morning, and I get up and I work from home. I get up, I make my bed, I clean up, to go to the bathroom, everything's dressed, and I dress as if I'm going to work, and I go over to my drawing table. And I remember in it was like not a social studies class, but a social classroom, where we just talked about where we want to be in our future. And when the thing that I flat out said is, I want to roll out of bed in my boxers at my drawing table. And I get up and, all that routine, get up, clean up, make my bed, get dressed and everything, and have my coffee and my drawing table. And I think about that, and echoes in the back of my head that I said that when I was 14, 15 years old. And I saw it now that that's what I want to do. I want to just be making artwork. And not that I have to travel far, which I'm fine with, but in this day and age, even it goes back to this, needing, you can work remote. You could just work at home and stuff like that. Not to say that you shouldn't go out and you need air. As an introvert, I still make my time to get out there. So, it's pretty zany, crazy. I don't know what those words are, but it's interesting that you could be able to make a product and get someone excited about it, and then you get to mail it out to them. And I think that's cool. And I think that if you required that you think you need a big publisher or whoever, you don't. You could have that audience support your brand, that awesome fan base. And I always give a shout out and thankful for everybody that loves and supports my work as a liberal art, and who loves Alley Cat. Alley Cat is just something that he's my alter ego that I would love to be. And he just tells it as it is in his style. It's like the Joe Cool, like the and Charlie Brown. But keep creating your content. Always see that your audience can be, see that you're making something and not needing it to be, how it's being handled. And if there is a bigger publisher or someone that wants your work, there has to be something that's going to give you value back, whether it be in the form of money or opportunity. And to have that opportunity and to use your own platform and the tools that you have, that's a win-win. But if you have everything that's like, we're going to sign you, but you can't show your work, or you can't use your work ever again in these other platforms, it just doesn't make sense. And it doesn't make sense in this day and age. It really doesn't. It should be like, if you're using your name and that's what they're buying, your brand, then you should be able to have something that you get to do on the side, kind of do. I don't know. It sounds kind of wacky right now how I'm just saying right there, but I just see that though people could work with big publishers, and that's again always awesome and it's great, but if you could have your own product, that's something too. And to be able to get it out to the consumers, we're in this day and age where it's possible. You could put your artwork or your music online and you could reach an audience, get people across the country, across the world. It's just what it is. Speaking of like technology, I was thinking about like how when I started off, I needed a printer and I needed a scanner, and I had to have a light box, and I had to do all these things, and now I pretty much just work off an iPad Pro. And you don't need to, I still draw traditionally on paper and using paints and Crayola and marker and stuff like that. And now everything's just, you get up and go, and all that kind of mirrors what it was back in the day, needing 10,000 I'm just throwing out that number, 10,000 numbers of printing to make a quota, where now it's just print on demand. You could print like one or a minimum amount that to get to consumers. And when you have a printer that offers that service, it just makes sense. And people want that visual and that fantasy, and I as well too. But in reality is, what can you do to get to there? Are you going to sit down and wait, or are you going to make it till you get there? Or what is that, fake it till you make it? Because I don't really want to say fake it, because you're doing it. You get up, you put in the hours, you stay up later, or you work on it before your other work you have to do, or your weekends or something. But it's there. You should definitely make that. And this is the perfect time. It's the perfect time to make creative content, and you can get your work out there. It could be on a keychain, a button. I'm just looking around at all my products that are on different things that Alec gets on. He's on a cup, he's on a notepad, he's on a button pin, on a book bag. It's like unbelievable how all these things that you can do right now. And I just think right now a lot of it is there's not enough people to see that and hear about it. And if we could talk more about that, I'm pretty sure a lot of more people will get into that. So this audio is going to be a bit shorter than the other one, but again, it's one of those things where I don't make podcasts on the regular, but I really wanted to talk about this is perfect time just to be creating content. And print on demand is out there, and you do have to do your research. You do have to do the legwork. It is work as it is. It's not going to come easy to you. But you really have to believe in it. And like I said, that the 14, 15-year-old Literal Art said that he was going to be rolling out of bed as a kid by his drawing table, and he's doing it. It just was like when that manifesting of seeing that. And I didn't know what it was I was going to draw, but I knew I wanted to just work and do that. So I'm going to keep this one short. Keep making content. Create. Be excited about what you make. Believe in yourself and your projects. Be humble and grateful for what you create. Have a purpose of it. Pass the plug, share, let people know. Hey, they could do that too, because we all need. It's all encouraging, and I know a lot of us guys out there, and I say guys and girls, is revealing secrets, and I don't think it's a secret. I think people should be able to hear that. There were mistakes. So when I did my printing with Amazon, they rejected it 17 times before the 18th time they approved it, and when it got approved, and my school picked up the first stack of books, it was crazy cool to see a barcode on there. And I know it sounds silly, but I had my own book out there on Amazon. So Alley Cat's everywhere now. So let's keep going at that. Let's be creative. Let's make stuff. Be motivated and create. I'm Malero Art. You guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn and all that fun stuff. And again, it goes back to that thing where it's like this day and age, you could reach more people with this technology and what's just called the interwebs. But yeah, you could find me there, and I have my alleroart.com, and you can find my Amazon author page on there too. Again, I have products that I'm going to be working on, and I have Creatorown content that I'm going to be working on where I want to talk more about. Let's just keep at it, and I hope everyone has a good one. Guys, take care, be well. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, peace out, Lero out, bye.